Hey guys, welcome back. I think I just heard the FedEx guy here. I'm going to do a video on the tools that I've had to acquire to do solar myself. So DIY solar tools that you're probably going to need, probably going to want. And this is what I have acquired over the process of the last 2 years, putting together my own solar system. So let's go take a look, see what we got. Ooh, yeah, presents. All right, guys, so I got my packages opened up. I got 3 things from Signature Solar today. I got me a cable cutter, and this is just a cheap basic cable cutter. You can spend a lot of money on these, and for the amount that I'm going to be using it, I just need something to do the job. So I got this. It'll do up to 4 gauge or 4/0 gauge, and that's all I need. I mean, unless you're doing a lot of the heavy cables, you shouldn't need anything too fancy. The other thing I got is this. It's a torque screwdriver, and most of the terminals that you tighten have a spec setting in the manual, and you should really use this. I have not been, but going forward, now I have the tool to be able to do that. And then the third thing I got today, I'll try to get you a good close up of these. This is for doing your MC4 connectors, and I don't know if you there. If you see on the top jaw, it it'll roll the crimp when you do it, because this is how the crimps are, or the terminals are, and you want them to roll back down and crimp at the same time. So this is just, again, it's the cheaper version that they carry. The one thing that I'll say on the MC4 connectors is buy the good ones. The tolerances on where the barrels come together is tighter. You don't want to mix and match, and on most of the panels that I know of, at least the quality ones, they use the Stubby whatever, Stouchy, I don't know, but they're the ones that came up with the MC4 connector to begin with. And if you mix and match them, you can get a lot of play in the barrel here, and that can cause arcing and could cause a fire. I guess if you have a different brand than what you're trying to connect to, I would say best practice is replace them both with whatever brand you're going to be using, just to eliminate the chance of having an issue with that. So those are the 3 things I got from Signature Solar, and I have an affiliate link in the description, and I will try to put up links to these tools if you're interested. So moving on to some of the other tools that I have gotten is screwdrivers. These are insulated screwdrivers, like electricians would use. Now, you should always turn everything off. Just completely shut down the system if you're going to be working on it. That's best practice. But it isn't going to hurt to have insulated screwdrivers just to be on the safe side. Another screwdriver that I have is, this is just one I picked up at Menards. I could never find my small screwdrivers, so this one's got the end with both the Phillips and the flat, and then you can flip it around and do smaller Phillips and flat. So having small screwdrivers comes in handy. I never seem to be able to find the right screwdriver when I'm working on something. So, hi Abby. Yeah, having a good multimeter is a good idea too. This one, it does AC and DC, and then for the amperage it only does the AC, but I believe they do make them in DC so you could measure amps going through your DC wires. But this is what you want to use, you know, when you shut down your system, and make sure that everything's de-energized. So these are just some tools, you know, just the wire cutters, good wire cutters, and a good wire strippers. I do need to get a new one of these, and I just haven't yet. But you know, you can cut a pretty good sized wire with this too. When you get into some of your smaller wires, especially if they're fine strand, having this tool here, these are barrels that go on the end of the wire, and then you crimp it with this thing. And I've used this a few times. There again, nothing real fancy. And then this is right here, this mess right here is for doing Cat 6 cable ends, and I bought a whole big bag of just some cheaper plastic ends. And if you get one of these kits, get one that has the line tracker, because you can, if you turn this on and you plug, it'll tell you if they're all matched up. And if you're doing these Cat 6 cables, that's for sure something you're going to want to do when you're crimping these. They for me, it's hard to see the wires sometimes, so having this is a lifesaver. It comes apart, so you can clip one on each end if you already have your wire ran a long distance. I use this a lot when I was putting in my camera system, because all my cameras are hardwired. But you're gonna, you know, be making a few cables. I mean, you could pre-buy some, I guess, but I use this for a lot of other things too. And then one of the last tools I got here is just a wire stripper for doing the heavier cables. You can use a knife, but you're probably gonna end up cutting some of these fine strands, because these are really small fine strands in here, and the less that you damage, the better. Hopefully you don't damage any, but that's kind of how it goes. So the last tool that I got and I don't remember if I got this off Amazon or eBay, but it is a hydraulic crimper. And this thing you gotta have. Well, you could get a manual one, but this in the overall picture isn't that expensive, and it's going to do a better crimp on your heavier wires. You pump this here. This is your relief valve, and then here's your die for your. You put your fitting in there with the wire, and then to change it, you pull this up, and then these dies come out, and your you buy a kit, and it comes with a this isn't even all of them, but these are all the different size dies, and they're all marked so you can find the matching corresponding one. But that's something that you're going to really appreciate having if you're gonna start messing with this. I did this with that, and it kind of does an octagon type crimp to it. This one, after you crimp it, you put heat shrink on. I didn't do that yet, but if you go online and get your heat shrink, make sure it's the self-adhesive stuff that will fit over the end of your wire and stuff. So that's pretty easy to do. You just gotta have a little torch or heat gun or whatever, but the main thing there is the self-adhesive heat shrink. So that's kind of my overview of just some of the more specialty tools that you're going to need. Obviously, you know, you're going to need drills and all that kind of stuff for running your wires through the walls and whatnot, and hanging your equipment. But these are the more specialty ones. Well, I hope this kind of gives you an idea of what tools you might need and stuff if you're getting into this. So with that, I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you subscribe, thank you, and we will catch you on the next one.